Namaskar. Today is Wednesday, 15th April 2009, and we are sitting at Vasai, which is a far-flung, distant suburb of Mumbai. This is my mother. Her name is Korshed, Sarosh Irani. She is the only daughter-in-law. Why I'm saying only is because the other two brothers of my father were not married. She is 95 and she was born in 1914. That's how she's 95. She's out here to give a talk about how she came to Baba. Baba came here, कहाँ गया तो केवी रीते गया. Baba came here.
Baba, my mother-in-law, Harlan Massey, let me go to Bombay and marry your son, Sarosh, with your daughter-in-law, Korshed. Then Harlan Massey said, I have no money. Baba, I am very lost. My son is not working permanent job. So Baba said, take yet garland. So he gave garland to Harlan Massey. And he said that go Bombay and as a DSP, marry your son and bring your daughter-in-law and your son here to see me. And Baba gave, Harlan Massey said, I haven't got 100 rupees in it. So Baba said, never mind. Baba gave 500 to her, 500 rupees. And then go Bombay and we earn. So she came and like to Baba's work that my relative was friendly and I came after that.
That's how she came to Baba.
And when she met Baba, that's how she came to Baba, because she married Karmamasi's son. When she met MeherBaba, when you saw him, what did you feel?
When I saw Baba, I said first time, oh, he is not an ordinary man. The Korshed said, he is not an ordinary man, he is good.
You thought he was a Superman?
And on that day, I worshipped him. Still I am worshipping him. Coming. I always say, Beloved God, help us all. We love you all.
I love you more and more.
I wish I brought my lapel mic. I didn't think of it. I just didn't think of it. I'll move the camera a little closer. More closer. And then you were raised, and so the rest of your life you were with MeherBaba. Do you remember some of the, did Baba ever give you certain instructions?
Baba said, you are looking, you are just like my mommy, my sister. And he opened my eye and he saw inside. You are too weak. He wrote some medicine. And I always wanted to go to see Baba. After my marriage, my husband got increment.
Got what?
An increase in salary.
Oh, uh-huh.
Then we used to live little bit comfortably. And he was working in
Postal Department.
post office as a clerk. Now somebody told him that you do this, you come in my Liver Brothers. There was one company, Liver Brothers. You come there and you get increment and everything, and you will get comfort. I said, no, enough. You come on.
Somebody had offered a job to my father, she says, to join the business in Africa. And then
And I said, no. If we go there, we'll get money, we'll get material comfort and everything. But we won't get Baba's blessing. I don't want to go. I want to stay here because I can get Baba's blessing.
Hmm.
and that job my father stayed on till he retired at maturity after 37 years in Postal Department.
And then that time, the war was wrong. So he was called as a postmaster in war service.
And where?
In British War Service. But in the Postal Department
Papa
also.
always used to say, be honest and be just.
Be honest and be dust.
Be dust. Humble.
He left the job. And you are always tempting me that you are Spider-Man future. So no, I have created our future. So,
Even my father lived till 93. He passed away about 3-4 years back.
Okay, was he, and his name is Sarosh.
then Mama we met there. Then Mama used to tell me that my husband that you are just like Pillu. Pillu means small.
An infant creature. You are just an infant still. Mama used to tell my father.
And then we went on.
Muhammad the Must used to tell your father that he was just a little, still a little
Small baby.
small baby still.
My son, Baba asked me, "Do you want any child?" I said, "No, I don't want any child." Baba said, "No, it is my wish. Can you get one child?"
Your Baba told you he wants you to have a child.
Then I told him, "In this birth, and just like you." Baba laughed. You are very clever. You have talked about this. Baba, what I feel I say. Second time we met, somebody told said that Baba is doing that. Baba said, "Why have you come?" Somebody told us that you are giving lesson. Then Baba said, "God help me."
So he said what? I'm sorry.
Baba said that ask Harman Masi to come down. He called her.
Baba, gave this temple.
Slippers.
You want to bring them out? Show them the chapels?
Sure.
Okay, just wait. Let Meherwan bring the chapels for us to see.
Karunasi gave to Baba and Baba gave me. And from that day, I will treat it is in my care.
So Baba gave Karma Masi some chapels that he wore, and Karma Masi gave the chapels to you. Okay, we'll show them. We'll show the chapels.
These were used by Baba so much that it is almost in tatters now. Yeah, put on. This has been with us from the time I was born. I'm 66 today. You want to take a close-up or something?
What I got is, the world has it. And what the world has, I have it. Because this flesh is.
Say that again.
She says, what the world has got, I may not have. But what I have got, the world definitely doesn't have. And this is one of the things that I have got. That people don't have.
Once Baba's lover came from where we are not there. And he actually can give me this so much.
When one of the Baba lovers from Iran had come, and he asked for one fragment of this chapel.
I said, if you give me lots of cookies or precious things, I don't know. I know it.
I was there. She had said, you can ask for my life, but don't ask for this thing. So they paid respects and bowed down to the chapels, and that's all.
My marriage ceremony was there in
What you say?
fire temple. Baba,
When her marriage ceremony took place in one of the fire temples in Bombay, Baba,
Baba said, fire,
telegram.
telegram. That is Korshed and
He said,
Yeah, blessings to Sarosh and Korshed. And because of these blessings, they only death did them part. More than 60 years they were together.
now I want to merge into Baba. Baba, give me salvation. I don't want anything. I lost my health, everything. But I'm not lost. My memory is fixed. It is saying in English, who would like an empty purse? But empty brain would be still one. It is Baba's grace that I got mentally. Right.
She keeps on telling that I am in an unwanting state. I don't need anything. Whenever I ask her to, let me know if she needs anything in particular. She's never fond of it.
unwanting state.
18 years. My husband served leader.
Pleader.
Leader was raised in our hands, so my father looked after him for 20 years. And at the time when, correct me if I'm wrong, at the time when Leader was finally to go to Baba on his last journey to outside our house, the Leader called my father and he said, Sarosh, you looked after me for such a long time. Even if the price of salt were to go as high as 100 rupees a kilo, that time it was 1 rupee a kilo, 100 rupees a kilo, you will not have a single day to ask for any help from anybody. And that's how we really.
They also help. They brought first class ticket for leader and me.
We were in the second class and first class, Baba had sent for Leader, so she was to have accompanied along with us.
He had heart attack.
He had coronary thrombosis.
From where?
Leader had coronary thrombosis and an undetected pain in the region of kidneys, which best of the doctors could not recognize. And Baba said, I have given it to you and you will take it along with you. And he lived with it.
Baba said, bring it here and leave it here. That's Baba's thing. But it is quite but natural. Other Baba's lover got Jangasha. He must be shifted in hospital. Why he is bringing here? She's living here. Baba,
Doctor Sister, let's close this door. That noise, just close the door. It's okay if she does it. Just if we close this door, we don't have to hear it. The noise she's making is getting on here. Okay. We'll close the door so we won't hear. Keep sound down.
there is no greater power than God. Baba, where do you see? To know, to understand, and then to struggle and stop now till the goal of life is reached.
Now repeat that. When you struggle,
To know,
Awake, struggle, and stop not till your goal of life is reached.
to understand, and then to struggle and stop not till your goal of life is reached. Baba said, there is universal law, and but circle law, and here is my will.
There were three kinds of laws in spiritual.
Leaders and then it is your will. One person going now, you just give him or give out realization. Baba said, you went on your that
Sugar?
Sorry, jump for there.
No, the Baba replied, you leave it to me.
Because he told, right?
give what? Give. I didn't hear what she said to give.
He told Baba that if it is your divine will and you are capable of exercising, why don't you give me God realization? So Baba said that leave that to me.
Baba once gave leader, then leader something. And he
Wiped his face
wiped
with
his
a
face
napkin.
and with napkin. And he did not.
He tied a knot signifying that I have given you a promise that I will give you God.
Where will you
Which is
go?
still there. But right now I don't know where it is.
You can't go anywhere. I'll tell you. Our relationship is tight.
And then he gave that tied knot kerchief to Pleader,
Yes.
and you guys have it now.
Yeah.
Those were golden days. I passed. I've gone through many golden days, and now this is the last. I want, I urge, I pray. Baba, then take me. Give me salvation.
So before he takes you, I want to ask you questions. Let me ask you questions first before he takes you. Korshed, I wrote a couple of things down here. What did Baba had called Sarosh? He called Baba Dada, and he called Sarosh, your husband, Parsi Dada?
No. That is, Muhammad used to call
Muhammad.
Baba Dada. That is universally known.
Yeah.
And for pleader,
Oh, for Pleader.
he used to call him Parsi Dada because it was pleader who brought Muhammad to Baba and nobody else. And
Pleader.
Muhammad has talked about this before his passing away to Eriko. That one day everybody used to go to Muhammad and ask for some gambling figures and all, and they used to give him some pittance to eat. But he says then one day he said, Pleader Sahib, and he gave me mutton, good food, and all he asked is that my elder brother, Pleader used to talk to the mosque, he used to say, my elder brother wants to meet you. So that's how he was brought Baba. And even barely a year before Muhammad dropped his body, when I told Muhammad, he nodded in approval and smiled, thinking of old memories. When I talked to him that I come from the yard of Harman Masi leader, So I called him Parsi Dada, you are Parsi Dada. So he was nodding his face and he was happy. And I just asked him, you know him, no? So Muhammad put his hand in the direction where the leader's tomb was. And he said, Tika Jopla. Means there he is sleeping. Yes, I know. So that's it.
Yesterday when we were talking, you had, I got to think of, I don't remember what it's about, but it was in the early years. And Baba had said at whatever you were talking about, which I want you to repeat, that the Americans will help us. What was that about?
America
Korshed?
needs my blood.
Oh, yeah.
They will help us.
Accident in America. And the blood was, his nose was, blood was coming from his nose. Still he used to read
Give orders.
Watch. America wanted my blood and I gave.
And they will help us one day.
So America and Baba wrote one book. And he said that I was placed in America. And when the time will come, American people will give you that.
American people.
Book will surface and it will be the Americans who will find them. But to date, best known to him, he is not.
So I never heard that the Americans will find that book.
When it has to come on the surface, it will be the Americans who will be receiving it.
Wow, I never heard that. Ah, Baba said that. And that's when he said Americans will help us. That's what that was about, that they will find the book.
Now, by help, what he meant, spiritual material or whatever, is best known to him.
Once Baba was in America, and the American people said, who is that man? Yes. When our people bring
Some Orthodox people.
So when Baba was on first floor, when Baba was coming up, all Americans said, oh, living Christ, living Christ. They said, living Christ.
It was like those who came to scoff began to pray from the Christian scriptures.
Do you remember what else Baba said about the Americans coming? Did Baba say anything about them coming and living at, I know he did other people, but did he say anything about Americans coming and living at Meherwan or anything?
No, not that she would know. Baba had asked Americans are living here.
America, only American people will help us. They are our friends.
They're our friends.
Because nothing here or Russia or anything. Only you said American people will help us.
But you said something that most of us have never heard, but you heard it from Baba. That Baba said the Americans will find the book, right? They will give the book. They will uncover the book. They will give the book.
My conscience says.
Doesn't mean it's in America. It means they will uncover the book. They will discover it.
My conscience says that Obama of America, that's now Prime Minister.
President.
President. Mm-hmm.
So he must be one of my Baba's brothers.
Baba's circle person. That's what he was saying.
Past.
The day Obama's photograph was seen in the paper and on the television canvassing for his elections, and you know that tussle
with Hillary Clinton and
that time only she said that this man appears to be from Baba, one of Baba's circle.
Wow. Did you ever hear of Baba talking about the end time? What's coming in the end time?
I'll tell you. Because this is what she only has told me, and I think memory doesn't help.
Okay, where did she hear it? Who did she hear it from? Baba? She heard it from Baba directly.
At Guru Prasad, if I am correct in my estimation. He said that 3/4 of the world will be destroyed, and West will go in war, and East will suffer epidemic. This is how it is.
The West will go in war and the East will suffer in an epidemic. And that'll do a lot of the destruction.
Yes.
Did Karma Masi ever tell you some things that Baba said that you didn't hear direct, but that she heard direct from Baba? Because she was from the very beginning.
Baba, ye Baba ne ki baat ki jani tumhari agal badi.
My mother-in-law was married to a 36 year older husband. And he was not in favor of my...
He never loved his wife. That is my grandmother.
He never loved her, but he married her because it was
No,
arranged?
because she was young and he was a very rich person. He was always suspicious and all that because of the age difference. But
My mother-in-law was very beautiful. That fellow was not beautiful.
Karma Masi was very beautiful. Do you have photos? Do you have any pictures?
I do have.
Can you find? I would love to see a photo of Karma Masi. Are there any photos of Korshed when she was young getting married?
No.
No. Oh.
This is my father, if you could show it on the screen.
Okay, this is Sarosh.
When he got married.
This is Sarosh when he got married. Very happy. This was Korshed here. This was her husband.
Ah.
You found some good photos? Oops, careful.
This is her photo with her youngest brother during a very younger age.
This is Karma Masi.
No.
Who is this? This is Korshed?
With
Oh.
her brother. Very young.
Oh, this is Korshed when she was a child with her
Younger brother.
younger brother. She looks like Mani. Is that, you look like a little bit like Mani, Baba's sister, when she was that age. From some of the photographs of Mani when she was that age, looks a little bit like that. You have none of Karma Masi? Korshed, you look a little bit like Mani when she was that age.
I was too young.
Did I take back her photo?
Huh?
I took back her photo.
The one of your father.
No.
Yeah.
Ah,
I
yes.
was 16 years old, 15 years old.
In this book, which
Here,
is
it is in.
Papa always said,
this is a new book come from Keith Gunn and Azra, and in which Carmen Masi's photograph that we gave has appeared,
Oh, great.
and even Pleaders.
Okay. I guess I could stop rolling this.
So,
Turn this off for a minute. Meanwhile, while you're looking for that, I'll ask Korshed. Let's see here. Got questions. Oh, well, you want to tell the story, Korshed, when Pleader died and you took his body to Meherwan?
no, he died in Meherwan.
Oh, he died in Meherwan.
Of course.
Oh, that's when they said, why did you bring him? She didn't tell that, did she?
No, she didn't.
You want to tell that part?
I'll tell
When Pleader was when Pleader was dying and you guys took him to Meherwan?
Yes.
Why don't I look for the picture and you tell the story? Because I'm running that film.
Certainly it is well.
I'll find it. Why don't you sit down and tell the story of Pleader when he was dying? And
I have a letter sent by Baba, handwritten by Eras, a lengthy letter in which Baba ordered Leader to be brought back to Meherwan, which was then known as Pimplegaon. And we took him there, and Baba had just come out, and he was on the stretcher, Leader. It was at that point of time that Baba gestured to him, "How are you now?" Leader said, his instant reply was, "Baba, either you fulfill your promise or you give up your divine claim of being God." To that, Baba instantaneously stretched Leader's palm like this and reiterated with his hand a promise that he had given him. Yes, he did like this. "I will keep my promise." But you had not kept your promise after the Raja Gopichand play by the masks. You said you would go back to Meherabad and then go to Bombay. But that you did not do, and I did not want you to come back again to fulfill that. So I have brought you, visited now here. Now, in a few days you will be going to Meherabad, and there I keep my promise after your having kept it. This is what Baba did.
and then he kept his promise to Pleader.
The film is good. I'll find out.
Okay. Well. Oh, that's well, there's so many photos in here, different people.
Every time I have to struggle to get this.
Maybe he has it in sections according to different. Maybe it's here where he's listing the stories of who the people are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you find it here? So, Korshed, you loved Francis Brabazon very much, right? You enjoyed Francis Brabazon from Australia. The
Francis Brabazon ने तमें मले लगा.
in Meherwan, in Pune. People were gathered. And said, what version was
Singing.
Shastriya Sangeet?
Classical singer.
He used to come up, Irani, he wanted to look in his mouth. What is he repeating himself? He must have put something so that he can mindset. Oh no, then I asked Sanjeev, how do you find it here? And MeherBaba asked him, it is well organized style. Means what? Very strict, spiritual discipline.
This is Carmen.
This is Carmen Masi. Let me show
171.
this. This was the picture they gave to Hazrat. Yeah, Meherwan gave. Here's the picture of Carmen Masi. Here she is. That's Carmen Masi. And this other one is also of her? Both of them?
Yes.
Both of them. So this was Carmen Masi. Who was, I think we can see that good. Okay. And so Francis, you're saying Francis, when he heard that classical singer and classical singer reach such high notes, Francis looked in his mouth and told the classical singer, "You must have a special box in there you put in your mouth to reach those notes, huh?" That's funny. Okay, you found whose?
Now, this is leader with his back to the
But
camera,
that doesn't do any good. Yeah.
Baba always took him serious. And this is by the way. This is leader outside that Tiger Valley. at
When he was
Panchgani.
young?
Then, yeah.
Okay. Here's Pleader outside the Tiger Cat Cave in Panchgani when he was young. And he's the one that Baba promised him God realization.
Yes.
And he got it before he died. It's him when he was Pleader. Okay.
And when Pleader was sent,
Sit there and talk so the camera can see you, please.
when
Okay.
Pleader was sent to a six-plane soul, Baba's spiritual agent, Keshwanand Maharaj, in
And where
very much distance, very much distant Himalayas, and Keshwanand Maharaj revealed as to who Meher Baba was and what he has to give to Pleader. This is Keshwanand Maharaj. Right in the winter of Himalayas, he used to be only with a loincloth.
Wow, this is him. He's the sixth plane. This is what he looked like in the middle of the Himalayas during wintertime. He would sit there and not get frozen. And he was Baba's agent.
Spiritual agent, and he was on the sixth plane.
On the sixth plane spiritual agent. And he had told Pleader, what?
First when he met Pleader, he told
sit
him,
back.
he told him that you come to me, I'll take you to God in 6 months' time. I'll give you God realization. So Pleader was on silence. He wrote down and he said, which Keshwanand Maharaj's disciples told him, that I am sent to you through Meher Baba. And if at all I receive any grace from anyone, it is at his hands, not yours. Otherwise I would not know you.
Keshwanand Maharaj said, कि पादरी है के पासी के पादरी का इतना बड़ा निश्चय है कि वो उसका गुरु बोले कि अग्नि में कूदने तो कूदने.
Keshwanand Maharaj was telling the people who were there to listen to his discourses, he said in Hindi, which I will translate, he said that this soul is so closely connected to his master, his guru, that if he tells him, Meher Baba tells him to jump into fire, he will not hesitate to jump.
And what soul is this? Pleader.
आपका गुरु बड़ा लड़क जाते थे कूदने नहीं करता.
This photograph of Pleader which I showed you was at the time of preparing for that play, Raja Gopi.
Did Baba ever say anything about the Jewish people and the Parsis or anything like
Not
that?
that I know of. पारसी ने कहीं जू ने यहूदी ने वगैरह के बोले ना, पारसियों ने जू ने वगैरह, Jews ने वगैरह. Not that we know of.
Not stories that you heard of. Okay.
No, but may not have told you.
May not have told her. Okay, did he say anything about any of the world religions or anything? Did he say any of that things to you?
In his lighter moments, he used to say that I remember because I was there, world's most horrible eaters are Arabs.
He said that?
And the most obstinate people are the Iranis, which happened to be his community. And he said once the Iranis decide that 2 plus 2 is 5, then even if God comes down, they will not accept 4. This is how he described the temperament. But he said this in a lighter way.
That's funny.
And Zoroastrian religion, he described it, even Vivekananda had described it, as the world's oldest surviving religion.
And yet, Abraham was before Zoroaster. Bauji said Abraham was the last of the cycle and Zoroaster was the first of this cycle. So Abraham was before Zoroaster. And if
Baba gave circular.
If Judaism is still around, how come it's not the oldest? Oh, maybe because Abraham and Judaism did not come until later. Didn't come until whose time? Wasn't Abraham Jacob's father? I think that's when it started.
No, I have not read too much.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't remember. Okay, do you have any, Korshed, any special stories with Baba that you want to tell us?
કઈ ખાસ બાબાની વાત તમને યાદ છે કે જે કેવી છે?
When we used to take his lesson and we were going, Baba said, take me with you, take me with you. Don't go away, take me with you. And go straight to the house. What I have given spiritual power, take to your house and don't go to anybody. Mama will take me with you.
Did you spend any time with Mera, Baba's beloved? Did you spend any time with her?
Mera?
Meherwan?
Yes, sorry.
I was asking Korshed if she spent any time with Mera.
મેરામાં સાથે તમે થોડો વખત વિતાવેલો કે કોઈ દિવસ વખત જ
What was her first impression of Mera? And
મેરામાં તમને
I
કેવું લાગે?
was good. 15 years I didn't go to Meherwan. I didn't see because I was working as a lady secretariat in moving house.
You are looking after rural girls' home. So that is the reason why she could not go for 15 years to Mera.
There they say once, let me, she told me, that's what you are doing. Tomorrow you will die, you just go and see Baba, all these things, and have lesson of Mera and Baba.
who said this? Carmen.
Mansari's grandniece, MeherBabaLibrary, Dr. MeherBabaLibrary, who passed away recently.
She told Korshed, what are you doing? You go take their darshan? You can die tomorrow?
Then I went there. I left cook new and I went MeherBabaLibrary. MeherBabaLibrary. Then one Mera came out. Oh, okay. So many times you were training everybody that you were using to come here every 2-3 months here. And now she has gone, she has left us. And when she saw me, she embraced me and I cried. She gave her kerchief and she put,
Right, right.
and then it was raining. So my temple was
Slippers were wet.
was wet. So when Mera said, you just give me and have my slipper.
Mera gave her chappals to wear.
But when you go, you give me that. I said, "Oh." And everything happened then. I went. No, I don't tell. I forgot. Please stop the bus. I am going and giving to this slipper to Mera. And I said, all right. Take your slipper and leave.
So you got to wear Mera's slippers because yours were wet. How fortunate. And how long did you go for? Were you there for a couple of days? Or what? When she went when she went to Merazad?
મેરાઝાદ પછી રહેલા તમે? કેટલા રહે?
Nobody was allowed to stay in Meherwan. In Meherwan, everybody was allowed to stay.
Did you come and stay at Meherbad?
So many times I have been here. In Pune also.
Where did you stay at Meherbad?
East West Gathering.
At the time of East-West gathering, the arrangements were made, so she was there.
all some business.
Tents were prepared.
And we used to sell khana and everything.
Vishnu Master. He was in charge of food arrangement.
So you helped serve, or you did
Family
you?
Jane Madam Fideli ke?
After you get it.
So she helped with the darshan with serving food.
Yes.
And there was one saint in Pune, Sadhu Vasmani. He was old. And he told his disciples that I want to see MeherBabaLibrary. So when you take his permission in time and I'm going about that. So Baba said, no. You ask Sadhu Vasmani that I am going to come to you.
You don't come to me. When the time comes, I'll come and visit. And he did go one day. I was there at that time. St. Meera School, which is still in the heart of Pune city, near the GPO, General Post Office.
Baba
You
went
can't
there.
miss it, yes. And Baba went, huge assemblage of people and
Vasmani, Meera Hall School,
St. Meera School.
and he was doing so much kindness, good deeds he has done that people cannot judge.
But he was only a sadhu. A pious person.
The Singhis, all Singhis were worshipping him. So they are taller and I don't know. But
Short. She was short size compared to that.
they didn't allow me to go inside. They did like this.
They pushed her back with elbows.
I saw Baba. Baba said, come here. There was one young girl said, come here. Then they have to tell me.
Baba saw this happening at his place.
That they were pushing her aside.
And he said that, allow her to come.
I came. Baba. Madam, only khai ne mua with Baba. Baba is the Sadhu Vasmani worshippers were giving fish, but in Patra mein. No, and then I saw this people here doing good work, and I also let and help. So he said, why you are not doing like this? And you are doing such a good thing, and let me also do. I will get 1%.
Now, do you want to repeat that a little bit so it's a little louder?
Dia tu pada waktu Wasmani na anak tu kalau mau dia coba kaji dia dapat kawan bela orang itu namanya kok. Jauh dia tak ada bijinya kan. Ini baca awal lagi. Baik. Nên mình phải lo cái nghĩ cái cái bà chị thế này cái nhà của mình phải là cái này bà vợ mình đi nhau.
See, after the darshan, Sadhu Vaswani's men were giving food to people. Once the lunch was over, they were taking those leaves in which the food was served and throw. My mother was also trying to help them. So they said, no, you are a Parsi, you don't do all these things. We are capable of handling it, don't worry. Out of respect, they said. So she said that all the earnings you only want to take, you won't allow me to share a little out of it, let me also help out. That's how she took
You can let me get some benefit from this. Very. Baba said you are very clever. Now we see. Wonderful stuff.
anything more.
Well, if we can think of any stories, let's finish this.
You can give one, sir.
Baba, now I want salvation. take me, you must me into you. Give me mufti. I don't want that.
Karma Masi, when she died, that was a long. When did she die? How long ago?
I don't recollect now.
Do you remember, Korshed, when Karma Masi went to Baba?
Baba ji thought it was yaad hai.
And then, he was on bed of death. So, he said, "Well, Baba,
Moments before dying.
why you are not taking me? You are afraid of me to take.
She went
I
for
am
a
ready
brief
to
while into coma
Ah,
before passing away. Who? Karma Masi. So suddenly she gets up and she says, Baba, you rest, ask me to keep rest. And then this garland and all you have given me. And you only vanished. Where were you? Now you are coming to take me. And that was the last. After that she never.
but she said, "Are you don't take me? Are you afraid to take me, Baba?" Is that what she said, Korshed? Korshed said something like that.
Baba ji શું બોલ્યા?
Why you are afraid of me? Not taking you. You are afraid. I am ready to come. Take me.
She was sort of mildly challenging Baba. Are you afraid to take me along with you? Why are you not taking
I
me?
am ready to come.
I am ready.
Why you are not taking me?
Then she went. That's what she said just before she
Just
went.
before.
But Baba's Nilkant, Dr. Nilkant was Baba's.
Dr.
Nilu.
Nilu. Mm-hmm.
He told me, he asked me, that, are you, your mother in you, Carmen Masi is giving you trouble, or you are doing it? I am strong. My mother-in-law is very emotional.
It's very what?
Mother-in-law is very emotional. I must be giving her more trouble.
So Karma Masi was very emotional. In which way?
She had a very soft heart. She would melt very fast.
Really?
she would cry easily or what?
Not cry, but she would sort of get easily sympathized at other people's misery. We talk about her misery. She was from waist downwards paralyzed for about well over 10 years. But you would not come to know. And if you asked her about her condition, she would immediately sidetrack the whole thing and talk about you.
She didn't want to talk about her own suffering.
No,
huh?
never. And that went with all Baba lovers. Most of them.
Korshed, thank you very, very much for sharing the time, some of your life with Baba.
She is blessing you. May Baba give you good health.
And gladness be in your life.
Let happiness be with you.
Thank you, Korshed. And thank you so very, very much for letting me be a guest in your house. And you're sharing your wonderful
This
beauty
is
of
your
Baba.
house in Esma.
And thank you, Meherwan. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Huh?